Just a week ago, the Lunatics token was released, and it has already burned up 550 million Terra Luna Classic. Just in the last week, Terra Luna Classic was burned to the tune of about $55,000, or just shy of $60,000 in total. That's awe-inspiring. Now, I'd like to go into more depth about these spreadsheets and see if we can sustain these levels and keep burning Terra and Classic so that the supply is reduced back down to zero in around a year's time span. As a result, we're utilizing two distinct or similar formulae in our spreadsheets. That's some solid computation. The Lunatics token and the 1.2% burn tax are two separate efforts, though burns here will continue to rise, I believe, while the Insane token will continue to burn around 300 million Terra per day. Our goal is to attain that level, but we're not yet there. On top of that, there's a 1.2% tax on fossil fuels. According to what I've read, it was expected to be burning somewhere in the vicinity of $1 billion. I believe it was a tad too much. How could you? I don't know how much of it there was. I can't recall exactly how much it was, but it was at least 3 times as much as the Lunatics token was consuming at the moment. So how do we come up with these figures? What's the plan? 2% of the crazy token we know of. For Terra Luna Classic, the transaction volume is multiplied by 2% of the transaction volume. So far, it's been a huge success. Yes, Terra Luna's Lunatics token burned $250 million as recently as yesterday. This is Terra Luna's original. There has never been such a massive one-day blaze. It's a spectacular burn with a price range of $25,000 to $30,000. This is a tremendous service to the Terra Luna Classics group and to the current crop of nutcases as well. According to my math, that works out to about 0.94 years for the 300 million times. To get those numbers, how many days are in a month divided by 12? It will take around a year for the supply of Terra Luna Classic to return to where it was previously if the Lunatics token can burn Terra Luna Classic at that 300 million per year rate. It's even better if you include in the 1.2% burn tax, which is expected to be implemented on the Classic blockchain, to the amount. Of course, Luna Classic's transaction volume is far higher than that of the Lunatics token, so we can burn it much more quickly. I suppose it was about 0.64 years, or 6 or 7 months, that we saw the price burn to nothing. Now, let's take a look at some of the assumptions these numbers are based upon. Everything will remain the same. All of the current conditions will remain unchanged. And it's going to take anywhere from 6 months to a year for it to be completed. In other words, if that works out for long without a large amount of either price or supply being burned, then these numbers can be used for the foreseeable future. What will happen if the pricing of Terra Luna Classic does not change? As a result, we're able to continue burning the same number of Luna Classic coins, but they've already been depleted. Out of the public eye, they've been discontinued. In the blink of an eye, you've got a project that jumps from a value of $1 million up to $1 billion. You made the claim, didn't you? In other words, I'm suggesting that if the price of Terra Luna Classic remains the same and you can still burn the same quantity of the product, then the supply is going to be significantly reduced. It's not a good thing because the price isn't going to go down. The whole point of burning is to allow us to notice these price increases. Merely for the sake of argument, let's pretend that it's not just a linear model and that burns are actually working. Suppose we cut the supply of Terra Luna Classic by half. Because we want to keep that market cap, the price has suddenly increased by a factor of 2. As a result, we'd like to keep that market cap intact. Let's imagine the price rises by a factor of 2, for example. Suddenly, if you're going on, things get a little more difficult. Assuming you're doing the same volume of transactions on Terra Luna Classic and Lunatics token, you're only burning half the amount because the price is twice as high on the ladder. So if you're burning 50,000 tokens into Luna Classic right now, you'll get 500 million tokens in the long run. If the price doubles and you burn $50,000, that's 250 million tokens in a hurry. As soon as the price goes up by another 50%, you'll have to burn 125 million tokens, and so on. Suddenly, you're wasting 60 million tokens in the process. A linear model is no longer possible since it becomes increasingly harder to burn tokens as the price grows. Either the amount of transactions must more than double, and we all know how difficult that will be. In order to maintain the same transaction volume as the price doubles, people must buy and sell twice as much. Price quadruples, thus they must trade more frequently in order to maintain the same amount of transactions. There are a lot of great models and spreadsheets out there, but they assume that the price will never change and transaction volume would remain pretty constant. Absolutely. When prices rise, so does the volume of transactions. That would imply a price increase of twofold. Transaction volume has increased by a factor of 2. Absolutely. In that case, we're wasting the same number of coins if the price quadruples and people become enthused about it.